It started like an ordinary morning in the quiet suburban neighborhood I had called home for almost a decade. The dew still clung to the grass, the smell of brewed coffee lingered in the air, and the faint hum of distant traffic made everything feel calm, at least for the first few minutes. But calm never lasts long when the How decides you're their new target. I'd been the chief of police in this county for over 12 years, and despite my professional background, I never once thought my own neighborhood would become the stage for a stunt that looked straight out of a bad movie. For weeks, the HOA had been on my back. Parking tickets on my own property, warnings for improper mailbox height, and even fines for a flagpole they claimed was too tall. I ignored most of it. I believed in picking my battles, but that morning they picked the wrong one. I was walking to my truck, coffee mug in hand, when I noticed a black SUV creeping slowly down the street. No markings, no lights, but the way it rolled to a stop in front of my driveway screamed intentional. Out stepped three men, wearing what looked like tactical gear. Cheap badges, plastic handcuffs hanging off their belts. My first instinct was confusion, then irritation. "Sir," one of them barked, trying too hard to sound official. "We have an order to detain you for violating HOA Code 12.7. Unauthorized security installation." I blinked. "You're joking, right?" He squared his shoulders. Do I look like I'm joking? Honestly? Yes, he did. The vest didn't even fit him right, and his badge didn't have a seal. It was just a shiny sticker with the word officer written in block letters. That's when the reality hit me. These weren't real cops. They were imposters, HOA imposters, and they were standing in my driveway. "Let me guess," I said, stepping closer. "We with the Shoy." The guy hesitated. The other two shifted uncomfortably. I could see the fear flash for a second before arrogance took over again. "We are acting under authority of the community board." I laughed. "Son, the only authority you're under is the HOA president's bad decision making." When I reached into my jacket, they tensed up. But instead of a weapon, I pulled out my real badge. The sunlight caught it perfectly, golden, heavy, engraved with a county seal. I flipped it open in front of their faces. "You just tried to arrest the chief of police. Congratulations." Silence. Then panic. The tallest one stammered, "Sir, we were just following orders." "From who?" "From who?" "The HOA president. She said you were a threat to neighborhood safety." I had to bite back a laugh. "So she sent fake officers to arrest me?" Brilliant plan. I motioned toward the SUV. I popped the trunk. Now they froze. I repeated it, slower, firmer. This time they obeyed. Inside were fake citations, prop radios, and a half-empty box of donuts. No kidding. It was a ridiculous operation, but serious enough to be a crime. Impersonating law enforcement isn't something the law takes lightly. I called in 2 real units. Within minutes, actual police cars rolled in, sirens off, lights flashing softly. My officers stepped out, hands on their holsters, watching the 3 imposters like hawks. The HOA president arrived soon after, her heels clacking on the pavement like she owned the world. "Chief," she sneered, "we're out of control, so it's just a misunderstanding." Really?" I asked, holding up one of the fake badges. "Because this looks like felony impersonation to me." Went pale. She went pale that far. "Oh, you crossed the line, and you did it on my driveway." As I gave my statement, neighbors began stepping out of their homes, phones recording. Word spread fast. The OA had sent fake cops to arrest the real chief of police. It was poetic justice in real time. I didn't raise my voice once. I didn't need to. The evidence spoke louder than anything I could have said. The fake officers were taken into custody. The HOA president faced charges for conspiracy, and by the afternoon the entire neighborhood had seen her being escorted away by the real police. The irony was delicious. The same people who had tried to intimidate me with fake authority were now begging for leniency from the very system they'd mocked. I granted none. Weeks later, the HOA dissolved under pressure. A new board formed, one that actually understood community meant respect, not control. So fit, not control. My property stayed just the way I liked it, secure, quiet, and finally free of nonsense. Every time I walk past that driveway, I still smile. Because that's where it all ended. Their game, their fake power, their lies. And that's where I reminded them all. Some badges are plastic, some are real, and some carry the law itself.